Good morning. Let's have a look at yesterday, see which ones we missed. Luton and Chelsea, for example. Could have got the late Desmond Tutu, couldn't you? But Chelsea, just unreadable. A bit like Manchester United. We couldn't have got the 2-2. No, my mistake. 0-3 to 2-3. So it wasn't a Desmond. It pretty much went the way of head-to-heads, didn't it, really? The last head-to-head was 0-3. Now you're seeing head-to-heads start entering the equation. So that could be an additional angle for you now, the head-to-head. Aston Villa and Burnley was the Desmond Tutu I was referring to, or had in mind at least. This one was a Desmond Tutu, you can see there. Douglas Luiz penalty. It was unlucky on Burnley, who are improving under, what's his name? The ex-Man City, Vincent Kompany. That's the boy. They are improving slowly. They're scoring a couple of goals, but still get undone. Palace and Brentford, your archetypal London derby, left that one alone. This was actually a good result for Sheffield United. 1.08, keeping this lot to 2-0. Very good result, relatively speaking, because that suggests an absolute mauling. Wolves and Everton, another excellent performance from Wolves. Another both teams to score, no, for Everton, but the wrong kind of both teams to score, no, for Everton. 3 consecutive defeats now against higher ranked sides, I would suggest. Where are Wolves now? 11th. Losses against Tottenham, top 5. Now Wolves 11th. 3 consecutive defeats now. Troubling for Everton after an excellent run. And this, well done to Nottingham Forest, quite simply. New manager syndrome. Could have arguably laid the draw. Second half. Nottingham Forest scoring first under Dominguez. I wouldn't really have laid. You could have laid over 1.5 goals backed. Man United +1. But this Man U, you don't know which Manchester United turns up. It's as simple as that. Nottingham Forest under Santa, bringing them lots of prezzies and goals. No Chris Wood on this occasion, so spreading the goals throughout the team. Santa would like that one. Great result for Forest. Atalanta Lecce could have laid the draw second half, arguably. Very tight match indeed. Atalanta not in the best of form, but Lookman would have only made you sweat until about the hour mark. Cagliari and Empoli, we did lay the late draw here at about 1.1 and lower. Cagliari aiming for that late win. But, the clock was not their friend. Talk about wanting to avoid a draw. That's the way you do it. Win 3-0 against what has been a really solid informed Bologna side. This was a loser for us with the Udinese. But we got involved early, late-ish, at about 2-0. You can lay Udinese at 1.18, back Bologna at 32. That's more like it, isn't it? Keeps the liability low. Any late draw, of course, would be gettable. AC Milan, again, you could have laid the draw second half there. A couple of underperformances, really, relative to the odds. But just take the 3 points at this stage of the season. Pulisic having a good game yesterday in for what I saw of him. Verona and Salernitana arguably could have laid the late draw. Both of these in the wrong end of the table. Juve and Roma, another one of those derby-style matches. Far too tough for me to unpack. But Rabiot, the only difference there. A typical Roma performance, trying to bore the life out of their opponents. Nick a 1-0. Liga Ha'al, all hail to the ale. This was our last play of the day yesterday. And very appropriate. The beer providing a nice profit. Excellent stuff from all hail to the ale. I think we had a couple of plays. I could have laid the draw second half. I did mention the 3-goal haul for Braga. That was one I didn't see the in-play stats for Braga. Well, I did see them, but I didn't see them, if you know what I mean. No real shots on or off target. But arguably, given their 3-goal haul, you could have backed over 2.5 goals second half. Certainly lay the draw second half. Braga absolutely full of goals. So a few of these lay the draws I missed yesterday. But we've got a couple of plays. We nearly had Hearts in as well. You should have got a nice profit from the Hearts match. For example, with my £11 stake, I made £73 here. Green at 2-2. Excellent result. If you don't cash out and you wait for the 3-2, you would have made a profit on the draw, but far lower then the profit presented itself at 2-2. We got involved at 0-2 down because they're 1.62 favourites. We got involved with Aberdeen, but they were very poor yesterday. Really weren't setting the stats alight. We did lay Celtic, I think, 2-0 up. Just on the fact that they're getting a lot of yellow cards for key players. And I was thinking that if Celtic can get a red, Rangers can get back into this. Could have been an excellent form under Clement. But no, Rangers got the red. That pretty much sucked the life out of that play. So the Hearts match and Hapoel Beersheva making sure that any losses, earlier losses, were retrieved. On to today, and it's a very quiet day. You won't be hearing anything from me because you'll be busy partying. Fulham against Arsenal, another London derby for Arsenal. I think you've seen with Crystal Palace Brentford and Arsenal West Ham. These matches can be a tad imponderable. Only one win in 4 for the Arse. They're playing 13th in the league. Fulham suddenly stopped scoring. That's going to be really concerning. After scoring 355 goals, Fulham ended goalless against Burnley. So they're going to have to find their goal-scoring form or get Alexander Mitrovic back, one of the two. I think George Best played for Fulham as well, didn't he? So might have to dig him up and get him back because they're in a spot of bother. Arsenal only one win in 4, but they've not beaten the top 10 side away. Away be 12th and lower 100% wins. And they're playing 13th today. 100% wins away for Arsenal against 12th and lower, playing 13th. So watch out for an Arsenal fight back. Don't forget, this title is getting a bit tasty. There's 3 or 4 sides in with the title shout. So the Arsenal must really pick up points when expected to. But a London derby, please, you have been warned. It might not be to your liking. Tottenham and Bournemouth have to get that 4-2 loss against Brighton out of their system, the Spuds. But that was 2.5 the favourite. The market's a lot more emphatic for the Spuds today, 1.65 favourite. No 0-0 at half-time in 9 matches for Spuds. They've scored in the last 19 matches. Both teams have scored in the last 4 at home. 2+ goals scored in the last 4 matches. Spurs have scored first in 8 out of 9 home matches, so unlikely we'll see a trade here today, unless you fancy Bournemouth's goal-scoring form. They are one of these form sides at the moment. 6 wins and a 2-2 last 7 matches, and wholly dismissed by the market makers. So that, for me, suggests Tottenham's odds are a little bit too high. But we might be coming to a reason why Bournemouth have been dismissed. 4 consecutive away wins, 3 goals scored in the last 3 matches. What may be behind Tottenham's strong odds is Bournemouth's record against the top 4, or the top sides. 4 defeats and 2 draws against the top 6 home and away. They're playing 5th today. That could be the reason why Bournemouth aren't that fancied. Just based on Bournemouth's recent 2+ goal haul, if you fancy laying Spurs 2-0 up, if they are 2-0 up, off you go. No service from me today. Have a great new year. We've got the Liga Ha'al a bit later on as well. Got a couple of away favourites in Maccabi Tel Aviv and Maccabi Haifa. You're likely to be sloshed by then, singing very loudly, Old Lang Syne, etc. Have a great day. My new year will arrive, I think, earlier than yours or later than yours. Probably later than yours. No, earlier than yours. 7-hour time difference. So I'll be in 2024 before you know it. Have a great new year. See you for a live chat webinar tomorrow. We've got the English Championship, League 1 and League 2. Not going to be researching these matches, but the last 2 sessions we've done 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock in these 3 leagues has been exceptional. It's just picking up the odd team that you know, like Forest Green Rovers, can't hold on to a win for love nor money. So get them 2-0 down, and they oblige. Peterborough being in excellent recent form, albeit a couple of 2-2 score draws. So that's a bit troubling, but they are coming from behind. Southampton at short odds continue to impress, but they're away at Norwich, 2.15 favourites. Sunderland have been a bit hit and miss of late. Blackburn odds on. Leeds expected to do the business against Wayne Rooney's boys. 1.25 Leeds today. Monday. Leicester odds on against Huddersfield. Expected to oblige again. So some very readable matches. Look forward to seeing you in 2024. Have a great evening.